This is why MEEKZ is so flippin' good. Yeah, what's good, y'all? If you're new to the channel, my name is Shadiq and I'm in KRXOVR Media. MEEKZ is the kind of artist who places his releases very well. And it's also due in part to the fact that he takes time with his visuals. I don't think I've ever experienced a visual from MEEKZ that I didn't enjoy or that I couldn't see the value in. And that's one of the things I think people kind of undervalue and underrate when it comes to music, is quality over quantity. And just having a sound that's diverse and unique. And that's what makes MEEKZ such a good artist and really one of the best in the UK that you probably don't talk about as much as you should. But listen, I don't want to hold y'all too much longer. Let's get it. And off rip already, the visuals look cold. Off rip. This gives me like a 2000s kind of vibe a little bit. I can't put my head on exactly what it is, but it kind of gives me like an early 2000s hip hop, an American hip hop kind of sound.
Now my life's like a movie, show you hundreds of scenes. Before my whole hottest, I was 100 degrees.
Taking it back, I don't care. MEEKZ has that, that's what it's the West Coast bounce sound. Like the American West Coast. That's why MEEKZ stands out so much. MEEKZ is a song with Gets, right? Yes, he's on freaking In the Fire on Dave's project. Because MEEKZ and Gets will be cold with that West Coast bounce. This reminds me of 8 Mile a little bit too.
Now my life's like a movie, show you hundreds of scenes. Before my whole hottest, I was 100 degrees. How am I still stressed out, all the numbers I've seen. But my soul's still hungry indeed. I got things to achieve, I got a job to complete. And if the devil's in the detail, what's God got for me? Now they fucking with MEEKZ, but I gotta keep the hunger in me. My G's a multi-millionaire and he's younger than me. That ain't banter to me, that shit's gangster to me. The streets don't love me. And he's
This is why MEEKZ is so flippin' good. Bruh. It's like he gives you like real talk in the midst of just talking his ish. He just gives you so much. And it's funny because I actually had a status. Well, I said status. Wow. What is this? 2008? I had a post on wow. I had a tweet in which I talked about how artists need to stop worrying about trying to make the streets happy because the streets don't love you. The same way how it applies in the actual streets. Right? And how disposable you are to the streets, to the roads. It's the same thing with music. They'll keep you relevant until the next hardest artist comes out. And all of a sudden, you lost your whole audience. You're trying to cater to these little kids on the internet, right? Who are trying to determine whether or not somebody's good to listen to based on like how freaking credible they are in the streets, right? Versus the majority of the world, which doesn't care about that. If you focus on them, you'll be way more successful, which is why MEEKZ does so well.
I gotta keep the hunger in me. My G's a multi-millionaire and he's younger than me. That ain't banter to me, that shit's gangster to me. The streets don't love me. And these hoes don't love me. If I post fuckery with my bros, judge me. Will they rate me if I turn a ghost, stop it? But how can I kill what's already...
Turn a ghost, stop you. Remember when this man, raise the volume a little bit. I have to put some respect on the production on this. I love the way the beat just like mellowed out a little bit. It gave so much more focus to what he's talking about. He's saying some real stuff. It's like while the beat is bouncy, he's giving you like the rappy rap, but then when he's really focusing on what he's saying and delivering a message, the beat mellows out.
I'm multi-millionaire and he's younger than me. That ain't banter to me, that shit's gangster to me. The streets don't love me. And these hoes don't love me. If I post fuckery with my bros, judge me. Will they rate me if I turn a ghost, stop it? But how can I kill what's already dead? Cause they ain't battling with me, they out war in their head. I need all of the bread. I'm legendary with my steps and my corner's the best. I used to stash cash and forget. Now my accountant collects all of my checks. I need more money. We just fuck up the streets, they got my shit on repeat. I want more money. The hood want me to eat, they screaming Bon Appetit. I got more money. I just fuck up a beat, then I'll come up off fiend. I need more money. We don't know comfy, my soul's hungry. Couple million in the account so I can show mumsy. And every story's both-sided like my own pumping. I'm a serious chopper, I'm so grumpy. I get the phone jumping. He ain't tryna go country, fuck it, he can hold door for me. I just hate it when my bitch don't trust me. If I was broken, I had no money. Would you dance on the pole for me, burn my clothes, had this.
And you know, it's funny that he's saying this because he's giving you this like 21 questions kind of sequence here, right? And it's, as I said earlier, this reminds you of like an early 2000 song, you know, obviously 21 Questions, Unit, 50 Cent, blah, blah, blah. But really quickly, you know, I always talk about people who artists could collab with and everything. I feel like Kendrick Lamar and MEEKZ might actually be able to make a very good song. And I think that's one of those songs that would probably like send MEEKZ on a whole other lane and trajectory with his music. It could freaking catapult him into this a whole new audience. And at the end of the day, Kendrick is also a very diverse artist. He can write a lot of different kinds of beats, a lot of different sounds, and vice versa with MEEKZ. But if they both kind of chose this West Coast bounce kind of thing, yeah, it would slap.
He ain't tryna go country, fuck it,
I can hear Kendrick's voice
I
on
just
this.
hate it when my bitch don't trust me. If I was broke and I had no money, would you dance on the pole for me? Burn my clothes, hide this pole for me. I'm so sorry, I fell in love with the game. First time that I done me a stain. Thought I was paid for a couple of days. Then I started getting money in a couple of ways. I ain't got too many friends, cause most of my mates are all...
Right, and then a peep, right, again, the way that the beat leveled out a little bit while he's starting to talk about slightly more real stuff, right? He doesn't just give you the rapid, it's like the regular money, blah, blah, blah. He's really telling you about some real things, about what he's experienced, what he's seen, what he's thinking, especially when the beat mellows out. I don't know if that's on purpose or not, but that's what I'm hearing.
First time that I done me a stain. Thought I was paid for a couple of days. Then I started getting money in a couple of ways. I ain't got too many friends, cause most of my mates are all stuck in a cage, all stuck in the ways, but we stuck in our ways. She fell in love with my neck, I mean in love with my chain. I fell in love with the neck, I mean in love with the brain. You know I come for the game, I don't care.
First he's talking about the chain, or chain around your neck. He said, I fell in love with the neck. I mean, I fell in love with the brain. That sequence from the physical neck and the chain around the neck to brain, that was dope. That was dope. We're gonna take it right back to when he started going into the real.
Told me a stain. Thought I was paid for a couple of days. Then I started getting money in a couple of ways. I ain't got too many friends, cause most of my mates are all stuck in a cage, all stuck in the ways, but we stuck in our ways. She fell in love with my neck, I mean in love with my chain. I fell in love with the neck, I mean in love with the brain. You know I come for the game, I don't care about fame.
More money.
We just fuck on the streets, they got my shit on repeat. I want more money. The hood want me to eat, they screaming Bon Appetit. I got more money. I just fuck up a beat, then I'll come up off fiend. I need more money.
This visual is so freaking cold, yo. And again, this is why MEEKZ is winning. He puts time and effort into his visuals specifically. There's an actual storyline with like them in the warehouse storyline, but there's also a storyline with him performing. I don't know if this is meant to be like a representation of like him actually performing like for real, or if it's more like the duality of his life kind of a thing. Either way, I love it. And again, from like the standpoint of what makes people play things on YouTube, right? He's giving you something that you actually want to go back and experience visually, and then once you do that, you also listen to the song too. Ultimately, it runs up his YouTube plays. He gets more money off the YouTube. It's the reason why he can afford to take time between his drops, because everything he drops is quality.
Push rock like Rocky, I'm a champ. Just gonna rock with a gang and do the popular dance. I'm tryna pop me a shots and pop tags, I never pop me a zan. I couldn't ever be pop, I tryna pop me a man. And you ain't never seen no shit in a tank. I'm really robbing the bank, I'm just a horrible man. Change the game, safe to say it's me that probably thank. I'm pissed off, I got poverty plans. Free my dogs, that's robbery gang. I love robbery bands.
More money.
We just fuck on the streets, they got my shit on repeat. I want more money. Want me to eat, they screaming Bon Appetit. I got more money. I just fuck up a beat, then I'll come up off fiend. I need more
money. Yeah, this is it. MEEKZ takes time, and it shows.
I got
too freaking cold, bruh. And MEEKZ is also the kind of artist where I look forward to playing his music for people, especially because I know that there isn't as much of a barrier with regards to the content, or not necessarily content, but the references and the slang and everything. Like, he's saying things that are relatable regardless of where you're from. Maybe you have to get through the accent a little bit, but other than that, yo, he's one of those artists that I look forward to hearing people like out here listening to, because I know that he's very easy to catch on to. It's just kind of giving him that initial momentum that's really going to be the challenge. But other than that, clear. So in this channel, we hold the vowels. That means we're getting straight into it. And this is a great addition to MEEKZ's catalog. I didn't know what to expect, as I pretty much never do when it comes to MEEKZ's music, but every time he delivers something special. His flows here aren't the highlight. I think songs like God's Clever really takes the cake with regards to MEEKZ's flow. So he has really big shoes to fill with regards to his own flows and the standard that he set. But just the way that he finds just the perfect places on the beat, it's like he finds that spot and just stays there the whole way through. And while sometimes I feel like I would rather artists switch it up, I think the switch up in the beats and the ways that he was weaving in and out of the content, that's what I really appreciate. The beat here, very noteworthy. It's a relatively simple beat, but the way that they used it to kind of encapsulate the whole mood and paint the whole picture, that's where the complexity lies, and that's where I have to give them credit. It has that West Coast bounce kind of vibe like I keep talking about that MEEKZ does so well. And it just really encapsulates his sound while also pushing his sound forward. Doesn't necessarily keep him in a box. Like, there's so much room for experimentation and exploration, but that also may be due to the fact that this is a really kind of sound that not many artists in the UK are on. So maybe because they're not doing it like on like a widespread level, I haven't really gotten tired of it. And again, with the frequency that MEEKZ drops his music, it really gives you time to really appreciate it, let it sink in. And I think that's really one of the things that I really appreciate about him, while also talking about the things that he's experienced, talking about the things that he's seeing, his mindset, the way that he's growing and elevating. All of those things are just like marquee, staple, whatever is the word, classic MEEKZ. And he delivered all of it. But across the board, every single thing that he delivers is very replayable. I can say that for sure. But let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. I'm looking forward to hearing MEEKZ do more collabs though. That's the one thing I really wanted to tap into a little bit more. I really think that something like MEEKZ featuring Mitch and Bugsy Malone can freaking bang. I think something like MEEKZ and Millions could bang. I don't know what the politics up north is, so hopefully there's nothing going on there. But those artists also don't give me the kind of demeanor of people who kind of care about that stuff really and truly. But anyway, I don't want to get too deep into that, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. And as always, hang tight for some more reactions. I do got more of this coming for y'all. But until next time, peace.
Is that Shira?